Riot Fest Day 1, backstage. Brian Phillips with Mr. David Lowery.
Hi, how are you? Nice to see you.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you,
All
yes.
these years. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
Well, welcome to Chicago.
Well, thank you.
You know you're coming to Chicago. Is there a memory or two of a show or a thing you love to do when you come to Chicago, when you're visiting our fine city?
Well, I've had all kinds of wonderful shows here in Chicago over the years with both Cracker and Camper Van Beethoven. Like some really big shows, really happening shows. But I think some of my fondest memories are playing in the Cubby Bear and the crowd being so drunk there would be like 8 or 10 fights at any given time, right? You know?
Would that be on a game day or a non-game day?
Probably on a game day, right? That's what I thought I remember. But just kind of what a great, rock and roll club town, and stuff like that. So.
I think when Teen Angst plays at the Cubby Bear still, people get a little rowdy.
Do they?
After a game, yeah.
Okay.
That's a good rallying anthem.
Yeah.
And one of the best lyrics of all time, too. If you want to change the world, shut your mouth and start to spin it.
That's right. Thank you.
And requisite Chicago question, you go for it's a food question. Do you go for the hot dog, the Chicago hot dog? Do you go for the Chicago pizza?
Definitely the Chicago hot dog.
Yeah, everything, right? Everything on it.
Yeah, 2 pizzas. It's not kind of my thing.
Yeah.
So,
And
although there's like a Sicilian here that I like, but I don't know the name of the place.
I go to Pequod's. Pequod's is the best one if you need time next time. I want to ask you about and talk about the collection you released this year, Father, Sons, and Brothers, 28-song autobiographical. How did you know this was the moment to share this collection of...
Well, partly it was because of people have been like, hey, you should write an autobiography or maybe write a memoir, and I gave it had a couple false starts on it. I was like, I'm like a songwriter, I tell these stories in little 5-minute things, so I shifted it to just, and also COVID helped, like home, nothing to do. So I shifted to basically creating this 3-disc autobiography sort of told through song, right? So, I mean, it just kind of fell into place and stuff like that. And so that's how it worked.
When you're revisiting these songs and memories, too, was there something that you hadn't thought about in a while? And go, oh, wow, maybe I should have paid more attention to that song or this chapter. Was there something that surprised you when you're reevaluating?
Well, I mean, I don't want to give too much away, but, one of the things was I was thinking about my cousins, and I was like, oh, wow, my cousin stole a car and took me to watch them burn it by the aqueduct in the desert in California.
Oh, wow.
That's in one of the songs. It's like it's no... So, there were things like that, but I mean, maybe some better memories is what you're getting at.
Yeah. Or any memories,
Yeah. Well, there's a guy I started Camper Van Beethoven with, but he was only in the band for 3 months, and he actually gave the band the name, and he wrote a couple of the early songs that were popular and stuff like that. And at some point, I was like, you know what? I want to tell his story because his story is totally different than mine. Like, he had this calling from God, and he became like a minister and like went around the world like building orphanages and stuff like that. So it's like so different than my story that I'm like contrasting them. And I mean, there's all kinds of good stuff like that.
It's a great collection. It really is.
Yeah, it's not necessarily like the rock and roll parts, although that's in there a little bit. It's not necessarily like the rock and roll parts. It's just like people I met along the way and these interesting stories.
But it's the storytelling part.
Yeah.
And these stories that are unique to you and your journey in life, which I thought is pretty fascinating too.
Well, thank you.
In 2025 now, I mean, you're playing Riot Fest here and you're on tour, 40th anniversary of the Telephone-Free Landslide Victory album.
Our first album, 40th anniversary.
I'd imagine you have the bandwidth to do what or you don't want to do. So, like, when you're going out on tour, what brings you the most, like, satisfaction? Or what's, like, the thing that's, like, this is why I'm doing this in 2025?
Right. Well, I think I've always kind of preferred recording a little bit over the live thing, but it's not, like, a huge difference.
Right.
But I do enjoy, like, these festivals where I can see a bunch of our peers and our friends and stuff like that. Yeah. And the Camper Van Beethoven shows that we did do for our 40th anniversary are... The point wasn't really to make a bunch of money or cash in. Yeah. It was just to play like iconic venues like the Fillmore or Pappy and Harriet's in in the desert in California, or the 40 Watt Club, or festivals like this.
Yeah.
And so, what was your question? I feel like I started answering it.
You are answering the question.
I'm going to wander off over here.
Like, what brings you the most satisfaction, doing what you're doing now in 2025?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I like playing to our fans. We just had a great show last night, or 2 nights ago, at the 40 Watt Club in Athens, Georgia. It's just like everybody was there knew all the words to all the songs, and then all the instrumentals they like danced around kind of goofy to, and that was fantastic, right? Those are people who are have been on the journey with us for 40 years, and it was great to sort of see that.
Or even the timeless quality of it too, because people get in on different points, so maybe they discover you 10 years ago or even 20 years ago, and I think the music really appeals to many generations of fans. So that's a great thing about your music.
Well, thank you. I teach at the University of Georgia too, because we're in Athens, Georgia now. And I had a bunch of my students come to that show at the 40 Watt in Athens. I mean, not a ton of them, but 30 or 40 of them. Yeah. And it was really interesting the next day what they said about it. Some of it I can't repeat. But they were basically you're really psychedelic for an old guy.
Yeah. You're like, yes, I am.
yes, I am. Yes, I am.
You're a good student. Performing here at Riot Fest today, camper van Beethoven. Thank you so much, Mr. David Lowery.
Yeah, thank you.
Pleasure.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, right.
Okay.